Every good DIYer knows that a project is just an excuse to buy more tools. And if you're gonna build a home gym shed like the one that I'm in 2025, you're gonna need some new tools, my friend. This is my official list of all the tools that you're gonna need, the absolute non-negotiable must-have tools, and the nice-to-have tools that you don't need, but you're definitely gonna convince your wife that you need. So you know what time it is, right? It's tool time. Let's get into the video. What's up, guys? Cody here with Backyard Shreds, giving busy dads a place and a path to get stronger at home. Today, we're talking tools. Let's get into it. Believe it or not, you can build an entire home gym shed in your own backyard with only 10 tools. I'm gonna show you those first. Then we're gonna go through a few extras. Then we're gonna talk about power tools, which is everyone's favorite topic. And stick around to the end because I've got a giveaway. I'm giving away my favorite power tool. I'll tell you what it is later on in this video, so stick around for that. It is my favorite tool. I used it every single day when I was building my own 12 by 20 home gym shed that I'm in right now. Here are the 10 fundamentals that you gotta have. Number one, you're gonna need a trusty hammer. You're gonna be driving a lot of nails and fastening boards together, and you can pretty much do everything you need to do with just a hammer. Number two, you're gonna need a tape measure. You're gonna need something to measure boards with. I'm a big fan of these Stanley Powerlock tape measures because just gonna tell you right now, you're gonna drop this off of a ladder multiple times, guarantee it. So get a tape measure that is good and sturdy and is gonna hold up. These things are built like tanks. They're steel encased and they last forever. Get like a 25 or a 35 footer. If you get a longer tape measure, it's gonna cover anything that you need to measure on your project. Number three is a speed square. You're gonna use this all the time, every single day when you are building and framing your home gym shed. Number four is a level. You're gonna need at least a 2-foot level, if not also a 4-foot level to make sure that your floor is level, that your walls are plumb. You're gonna need a level. Number five is a chalk line. I'm getting chalk all over my shred here. A simple chalk line from the floor to the walls to the roof. You're gonna use this everywhere. Maybe one of the most underrated tools. Number six is an impact driver or a drill. If you had to pick one or the other, I would say get a drill rather than an impact driver. But if you can get both, a lot of times they come in a kit, and get both.
Let's get both.
I'll get both.
But if you had to pick just one, I would say go with a drill because you can drill holes and drive screws with just a drill. And people can fight me about that in the comments if they want. Number seven, just to keep you guys guessing, you're gonna need a caulk gun. Sorry, had to do that. You're gonna need a caulk gun because you're gonna have adhesive that you're gonna have to put down. You're gonna have caulk that you're gonna put down. And so you're definitely gonna have to have a caulk gun. Number eight, a handy dandy utility knife and replacement blades because you're gonna go through those things like crazy. Number nine, you're gonna need a ladder, of course, because you're gonna have to get up on the roof. You're gonna have to reach tall things. You're gonna have to put the roof on. You're gonna need a good ladder. I personally like these adjustable ladders like the Gorilla or Little Giant ladders because they're easy to store. They are a step ladder, they're an extension ladder. You can do all sorts of different things with them. They come in different sizes and they are very convenient to pack up and store in small spaces when you're done using them. You just get a lot more bang for your buck. At this point, you're probably going, but Cody, what am I gonna cut the boards with? That's not actually how you sound. I know, I'm just kidding. But you're right. Number 10 is a saw. You're gonna need a saw. You're gonna be cutting a lot of boards. I love this brushless circular saw from DeWalt. I got a set of DeWalt power tools a couple years ago, and I used this thing every single day while I was building my home gym shed. I used it on the trim, I used it on the framing, I used it on the roof, I used it on literally everything. Of all my tools, this is my absolute favorite, and that is why I'm giving one away to you just for subscribing to this YouTube channel. More details later in the video for how to enter that competition. But yes, next month I'm giving away this new in the box DeWalt 20-volt brushless, baby, XR 7¼ inch circular saw. It comes with a blade and the tool only, no batteries, just so you know. So keep watching and I will tell you more about how to win that tool. Those are the must-haves. Let's go through some nice-to-haves, starting with hand tools and then moving on to power tools. This first category of extras is actually not really an extra. These kind of should be non-negotiable, but they're also not really tools, so I didn't include them in that top 10 list. But you need safety equipment, okay? At a minimum, that looks like eye protection, ear protection, and a first aid kit because accidents happen. And if you want to be extra safe, then I actually recommend getting a hard hat. Protect the old dome. True story, someone was helping me when I was building my home gym shed and they dropped a board on my head and I didn't have a hard hat. So the moral of that story is if you think you don't need a hard hat, you probably do. In no particular order, here are a handful of other tools that you will definitely find helpful on your project. A shovel for moving dirt and gravel for your foundation, a rock rake for distributing that gravel, a wheelbarrow or wagon for hauling gravel and hauling tools, clamps. These things are incredibly useful. I use them all the time. I was actually surprised at how much I used these on my building project. Pew, 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 pew. What? You do it too. A headlamp because you're gonna be working after dark, and probably some job lighting as well, either battery powered job lights or extension cord job lights. The cheap LED ones work great and they're super duper bright. You can get them at Harbor Freight, Amazon, etc. Sawhorses. Oh my goodness. I got a pair of collapsible sawhorses from Home Depot when I was building my home gym shed and I love those things. I use them for everything from cutting and measuring of boards to painting, trim. I use those things every single day on the entire project. Get yourself a good pair of sawhorses. Sawhorses. Where's my cowboy hat? This should go without saying, but a leather tool pouch is by far the most functional and practical thing that you can buy if you're gonna be doing DIY projects, especially any kind of framing or building project. I wear this anytime I'm building anything. This isn't actually a tool, but you're definitely gonna need it for your building project. A backyard shreds ball cap. They come in camo, they come in the classic black. Snapback, mesh, especially if you're bald like your brother here, you're gonna need a hat. If you're building in cold weather, obviously we got you covered with the hoodies. We've got plenty of cool t-shirt designs as well. Water bottles to keep you hydrated. We've even got coffee mugs to get you going in the morning with a cup of joe. So yes, also nice to have some dope merch from Backyard Shreds. Okay, so you're going to be dropping nails and screws and things like that around your job site. So do yourself a favor and get a magnet roller so you can pick up all of those screws and nails from around your yard, around your job site after you're done building. Save your lawnmower tires, save your kids' bare feet. That one is super important. One more thing before we move on to power tools, get yourself a big trash bin with the contractor grade trash bags. A clean job site is a safe job site. So get a big trash bin and a big trash bag and keep your job site clean. Those are the extra tools that are gonna be extremely beneficial to have. Next, let's talk about power tools. If you're looking to build your own home gym shed in 2025, we've put together the best step-by-step building plans over at backyardshreds.com. In addition to the plans that will help you build your shred, we've also got a bundle of helpful resources that will guide you through the entire planning phase of your project and help you navigate things like building permits, budget planning, material acquisition, and of course, a list of all the tools you're gonna need. I can honestly tell you from personal experience that this is an incredible summer project for you. And having a dedicated place to train in your own backyard is an absolute game changer for staying consistent and making incredible progress with your strength and fitness. So go to backyardshreds.com and grab those building plans and you could start planning your own shred project this weekend. Now, when it comes to power tools, an impact driver and drill are the fundamentals, the non-negotiables. You can get away with just a drill or just an impact driver, honestly, if you want. But if you get a kit that comes with both, you're not gonna regret it. You're probably gonna be driving more screws than you are drilling holes, but you will be doing a little of both as you build. Another tool along those lines, and this isn't technically a power tool, but I thought it fit better in this section of the video, is a bit set with drill bits and driver bits of different shapes and sizes. You're gonna drop some, you're gonna lose some, and so having an extra set of these with plenty to spare is gonna make your project more efficient. I also already mentioned my favorite tool, this 7¼ inch brushless cordless circular saw by DeWalt. Giveaway details at the end of this video. But I thought it would be important to note here, a really nice thing to have when it comes to power tools, especially for your bigger power tools like a saw, is a big battery. I have a 2 amp-hour battery, a 4 amp-hour battery, and this big 8 amp-hour battery, and this thing is awesome. I can run this saw almost all day on this one battery. And some of the smaller batteries, a big saw like this kind of chokes up a little bit when you're trying to go through a board. But this big 8 amp-hour battery, I don't remember how much it costs, but it is absolutely worth it. It will save you tons of time simply by not having to swap out batteries all the time. It just is gonna chew through anything you throw at it with ease. Another really nice to have power tool is an oscillating saw. These multi-tools or oscillating saws, as you might see them called, are extremely handy and versatile for cutting everything from boards, sheeting, trim, soffit and fascia, nails and screws, everything. By the way, pro tip, buy the cheap replacement blades on Amazon in the bulk packs, not the expensive brand name ones at the hardware store. You will save a fortune. Believe me, they're just as good. I don't know if this technically counts as a power tool, but it has batteries, so I'm gonna count it as a power tool. This is also a really handy tool to have. It is a laser level. You definitely can get away without this one, but it really comes in handy for leveling your site, getting your walls plumb, getting straight lines in a number of different things. So a laser level is pretty handy to have for a few specific uses, but honestly, this is one that is definitely in the nice to have category rather than the must have category. Pew, 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 pew. I hope that was okay for the camera. Maybe it fixed it. Another nice to have power tool is a miter saw. You can get square cuts on framing and trim boards with just a circular saw and a speed square. So I'm definitely putting this one on the nice to have list. But if you have a miter saw set up on your job site where you can just measure and chop boards with square ends or measured angles, that's super handy. Another nice to have saw is a job site table saw. I actually don't have one, but I borrowed my dad's a handful of times when I was building my home gym shed. Particularly handy for rip cuts on boards and trim pieces and things like that. The last category of power tools that are particularly nice to have is air tools. Are air tools power tools? Hang on. Are air tools considered power tools? Pneumatic tools are considered power tools. Definitively, Google says yes. Air tools are considered power tools. Boom, there you go. When I built my 12x20 home gym shed, I went out and I bought a set of air tools. I bought a set that came with a tank and hoses, a framing nailer, several brad nailers, a narrow crown staple gun. I also bought a roofing nailer because why not? The nail gun is extremely helpful. I use this almost exclusively for framing. Yes, you could just swing a hammer the entire time, but this is way faster and way easier. The brad nailers I also use quite a bit for all the trim work inside and outside the shed, and that was a really good purchase in my opinion. I think I got like the entire set for like 400 bucks or something. Now, I didn't know much about this little air tool right here when I first got it, but this thing is amazing. This is a palm nailer. It's a little air nailer that allows you to drive one nail at a time. I use this thing way more than I expected. It's great for nailing inside tight spaces where you can't swing a hammer and you can't fit a big framing nailer. It's great if you want to hold a board and drive a nail. You don't have to hold the nail and then hit it with a hammer. You can set the nail and then drive it all with one hand while holding the board or the material that you're trying to nail with the other hand. Or if you just don't want to swing a hammer all day, this is really going to save your arm as well. Love this thing. Not essential, but I absolutely recommend grabbing one of these. Now, could you get a battery powered framing nailer and a battery powered brad nailer? Yes, absolutely. You can get all of those things as power tools or battery powered tools. If that was what I was doing every single day of the week, then I would probably invest in those tools. But if you're just doing one big building project, I don't really think that the price is justifiable in my opinion. Now, if you can afford it, go for it. For me, I felt like the air tools got the job done at a fraction of the cost, and I would rather spend my money on other tools that I'm going to use more frequently than a nailer. One more tip about power tools: invest in the brushless power tools. Whatever brand you decide to get, whether you want to go for the red or the yellow or the blue or whatever, spend the extra money on brushless. I guarantee that that alone will be worth the upgrade. Brushless tools tend to be more powerful and are way more efficient on battery usage, which means that you're going to burn through your batteries a lot less throughout your project, which translates into time saved and efficiency. And in my opinion, that's worth a couple extra $100 if you can swing it. Obviously, I've got a lot of DeWalt tools, but you can watch the tool reviews and figure out your budget and decide for yourself what tools you want to buy. That's just a brand that I know and trust, but there are a lot of other great brands out there. Speaking of DeWalt tools, I'm giving one person watching this video a subscriber to the Backyard Shreds YouTube channel this new in the box circular saw. It's the exact saw that I use to build my entire home gym shed. It is a monster. It is my favorite tool, and I'm so excited for you to have this. There's no purchase necessary. I've got all the details on how to enter and how to win over on my website, so just click the link in the description below. It'll take you there where you can enter to win this saw. Thanks for joining me today, guys. If you like this video, but you're wondering how to build a shed floor that's actually strong enough to hold hundreds of pounds of gym equipment and dropping heavy weights, then check out this next video where I walk through the exact process of how to build a rock solid foundation for your home gym shed. I'm Cody with Backyard Shreds, and until next time, go build, lift, and grow.